Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about Torx screws or Torx bolts, sometimes known as star screws. What I want to talk about is what they are, the applications that they're sometimes found and being used in, the different types they are, and what kind of bit you'll need to remove those. Let's go ahead and get started. To start off, this is what we're talking about right here, that type of a screw head. A lot of times when working on your vehicles or even in other applications, but a lot of times on vehicles, you'll come across those when you're trying to do work on it and you'll wonder, what is that thing? It's obviously not a Phillips or flathead. It's not a regular hex head that you can just use a socket and ratchet. That's what's known as a Torx screw or Torx bolt, T-O-R-X. Now you'll need specific bits to remove those so you don't strip those. The last thing you want to do is get one stripped and then you got to try to drill that thing out. Now, it's a good idea to have a set of these on hand, and I'll have some links at the bottom of this video if you want to purchase these. I'll have some links to some of these sets, but if you get a standard socket set, and I'll get a close-up. But if you get a standard set of bits or sockets, or like in the case here, this is just right here, just a regular bit set, you'll have, different Phillips heads, flatheads, things like that, but you'll have Torx in there as well. Sometimes you can just get just a Torx set in general if you want to get different sizes. Now, on some automotive applications, you won't be able to find the sizes in a regular bit set like this. You'll have to go to an automotive store like an AutoZone, Advanced Auto, places like that, or online and get the one specific for vehicles, because you won't always get them in these sets. But it's a good idea if you're going to be working on vehicles. Get one of these sets, that way you have them on hand, because at some point you're going to come across them on some vehicles that I've worked on over the years, some older GM vehicles. If you're dealing with just a fuel pressure regulator, you'll have different ones holding those in. We're going to take a look at some other applications. If you have an ECU or ECM, if you need to do work on that, open that up. A lot of times they have it. I have another vehicle where just the seat belt strap, the mechanism is held on by a large one. So it's a good idea to have these babies on hand. That way, if you need them, you've got them. But let's take a look here, and I'm going to show you ECU from an older vehicle of mine. I'm going to show you how we would take that off. Now, this is an ECU off of one of my older vehicles, and you can see it's held on. You have Torx bolts all along the edge holding these on. So what you would do in a case like this, if you would have one of these sets here, we'll grab the size. I believe this is the one here, and we'll come here. Make sure that it fits in. And let me get a close-up. You can see right there how it just fits right into the groove like that. This right here can just connect into a regular socket and then just on a ratchet, and then you can remove that. The last thing you want to do is be trying to get a Phillips screwdriver in here and trying to take it off with that. As you can see right there, you'd wind up stripping that, and then you'll have a real problem on your hands. So what we're going to do, taking this correct bit, put it in here. Let's connect to it, and I'll show you how easy that'll take it out. What you want to do is just use a quarter size socket, and that'll just slide right over this, like that. Then you can just take this, take it out real easy. And let's see here. And that's how easy you can remove that, by just getting the right size Torx bit and removing that. Now that's the simple type right there. That's just a regular Torx screw or Torx bolt, Torx bit, that's it. Sometimes you can run into some that are known as security Torx bits. Those are a little bit different. They have a little pin in the middle of that star pattern, so you'll need a different kind of Torx bit that has the little security piece in the middle that can go around that and fit into that groove. Let me show you a close-up of the bits that we're talking about, and then we'll show you an application where one is used. Here's another set that I have, and this one here is good because it actually calls out the T20, T25, different things like that, so you can match size. These are your regular Torx up here. These are the security ones. You can see how they have the little opening in the middle right there. So it's the same pattern with the opening in the middle. Now let's head over to, I actually have an arcade game that utilizes one with the security type. And right there you can see it. You can see the little point that it has there in the middle. If you tried to use just a regular Torx bit, it wouldn't work because you need that center hollowed out so it'll fit around that. And what we just looked at there, that was on an old arcade game of mine. It has it around the glass bezel, so I guess nobody would tamper with those. A lot of times you use those if you don't want people tampering with it. That's why they're called security Torx bolts. However, I have seen them on some old GMs, on a Pontiac Fiero GT, which is the 2.8 liter V6. The fuel pressure regulator is held on by those security Torx screws as well. So you would need that same bit with that security piece missing in the middle to slide over to remove that. So it's good when you get a set, make sure you get the regular Torx bits and the security ones. And that way you'll have them laid out like we saw in my other set where it has the T20, T25, things like that. Here's another application. This is in a vehicle here where it holds in the seatbelt harness. You can see that right there is a large Torx bolt that this one takes. And for applications like these in vehicles, you're going to need one of these special ones here. A lot of times you have to purchase this, as mentioned already, like an automotive supplier in order to get one of the large type like this. They won't come in the standard kits that we just looked at. Looking right there, this is on my Jeep Wrangler TJ going around the windshield. Actually, if you do have a Jeep Wrangler TJ, I'll have some links down in the description and across the top pertaining to some videos I've done on it. But they use these Torx bolts a lot on this vehicle. Here's another one right here. This is for the hinge right there that holds on the hood to the Jeep Wrangler TJ. But you can see, same thing here. You have 3 of these. Okay, well that wraps up this video. Just wanted to talk a little bit about what a Torx bolt or Torx screw is and how do you remove it. A lot of times, as mentioned already, if you're working on your vehicles, you'll come across those. Sometimes people try to use Phillips head screwdrivers and try to work it out. It might work a little bit, but you're going to damage it. It pays to just get one of these kits here, like the one we saw earlier, as shown already. You got all the sizes here. This particular kit here, I got this at Harbor Freight years ago. And this has your regular Torx that we saw, and then it also has the security ones where you have the center of the star punched out so it'll fit around that security peg in the middle of that star pattern. And as mentioned already, if you're dealing with automotive ones specifically, you are going to have to get it through an automotive supplier. I'll have some links down in the description of this video where you can purchase some of these if you're in need of those. But I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope it was informative. If you're working on any projects with your vehicle, or like we saw with the arcade games, things like that, sometimes they use them as well. I hope that this was helpful just to show you what they are, how to remove them. Please send me any questions and comments. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I appreciate all the support. So please like the video, subscribe to this channel as I'm constantly posting content pertaining to automotive repair and other do-it-yourself videos. I'll see you next time.